There has been a very interesting verdict by Fifth Circuit Court in US on private equity and venture capital market. So to provide a background, there was a private fund advisors rule by ACC which mandated the managers to provide the prescribed quarterly report to investors, also not to pass through certain expenses to the end investor as well. And it also mandated certain preferential treatment prohibitions and the way private equity funds are operated on a regular basis. This had severe repercussions for the industry, and the VC industry moved to the court, and court set aside the private advisors rules, stating that ACC has exceeded its statutory authority in implementing the Investor Advisors Act in the sense that this act and the provisions of Rule 211H was only made for the retail and small investors, not for the wealthy investors who are investing into PE and VC funds. Industry had also claimed that the ACC and Commission has overreached its capacity and authority with regard to Frank Dodd Act to impose certain requirements on the industry, and court completely concurred to these claims. So after all, what could happen in future is essentially ACC can move to for the review of the full court of the Fifth Circuit court, or it can move a certiorari claims or review petition to the Supreme Court of US and ask them to reconsider the Advisors Act. Now, it could also happen that in future, ACC can remain much more skeptical and stringent with regard to the private fund advisors requirement, and also the filings and the certain expenses, etc., which can be passed on to investors. And if that happens, it will cause a lot of inconvenience and increase in the cost, regulations, the audit requirements for PE and VC industry. Plus, it will also inhibit the authority and the flexibility of the PE fund managers to value engineer the portfolio and really generate the required profit for the investors. So it is not even healthy for investor as well. However, whatever happens, whatever the Fifth Circuit Court gives the final verdict, or the Supreme Court finalizes this, it is interesting to see that how ACC further brings certain rules, because it is likely that ACC will be stringent in other clauses of the Investor Advisor Act as well. And on the same time, it also appears that court is not willing to accept most of the provisions of the Investor Advisors Act and the Frank Dodd Act with regard to VCP investors. So overall, this is an interesting time, but for now, PE and VC managers are in great relief after the Fifth